What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all of the lines of sight, wall runs, as well as secret spots that I know of on every map in Black Ops 3. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the map Combine. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so Combine is one of those maps that doesn't really leave too much to the imagination. It's quite small, and there really aren't a ton of amazing spots that I have to show you today, but I still do have a couple really good ones, so make sure you stick through here. So first off, let's start off with some capture spots for the B flag, because almost everybody just piles onto the B flag like this, and that's where all the thermites and frags and semtexes are going to be landing, and that's exactly where they expect you. If you're coming from the A side of the map, if you jump on top of this truck right here and crouch, you have great cover. You are able to capture B if you just kind of strafe over to the right a little bit. You have great cover from people right here while you're capturing the flag. You only really have to worry about people there or people that are going to be flanking around this way or potentially that head glitch there. But if you want to cut that off even more, you can just lay down there and there you go. Nobody will be able to see you unless they come all the way around this corner in order to get to you. Now, the reverse of that isn't quite as good, unfortunately. You can still go prone and capture from here, but you're prone blocked. I'm trying to turn left and right now, and I can't turn at all. So that means I can maybe challenge somebody if they come straight into my line of sight right here, but even if they move slightly left or right, I can't track them, and I won't be able to really shoot back while capturing the B flag. So this one isn't quite as good, but it's still a decent place, especially if you have like a smoke screen down or something. You can capture from here, and they don't usually expect this, so if they don't know that you're up here, it's an easy capture for you, and you avoid all of those thermites and frag grenades. Now, right beside the B flag, I actually have a little line of sight. It's very situational, and honestly, like in the middle of a domination game, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this because you are pretty exposed to some areas of the map. But if you have an enemy that's in that window there and you want to get a nice line of sight and take them by surprise, lay down on the steps right here, and there you go. You have a great line of sight. You can strafe back and forth while you're laying down. You can get a line of sight on them. You can even strafe all the way over like this, and you get a line of sight on the people that are behind that planter there. Just keep in mind, you are laying down in the middle of the map in the wide open, and anybody that comes to these rocks or anything will easily be able to kill you. So very situation dependent sort of line of sight. Next up, over by the C flag, this is a bit of kind of like a wallbang spot. A lot of the times, people will stand behind this planter here and spawn trap you at the C flag. And this is a very effective spot for them to sit, and they can keep you locked into that spawn for a very long time, potentially. And a lot of times, they'll be standing here, and if they don't like the situation, they can just strafe behind this piece of cover. Well, this information sign right here is actually very thin, and you can just spray right through it and easily kill that enemy. So if you're trying to challenge that enemy, let's just say you come up to this yellow barrel. It's kind of a fair gunfight at this point. He's over there, you're over here. If he strafes to the right, you can just shoot right through there and annihilate him. No problem. A somewhat similar spot over this way, if you have enemies that are coming through this doorway or like anywhere through there, and maybe you just happen to find yourself out in the open here and you're challenging them through that doorway, a lot of times what I like to do is as I'm firing, I strafe behind this piece of cover here. This is very, very thin, so you'll be able to shoot through it with very little bullet damage penalty. And they don't typically try to spray back at you through that wall. So they'll see you there, they'll see you took cover, but you still keep shooting through that wall, and you'll be able to pick them off a lot of the times through there. Another really situation-dependent line of sight is if you know you have all your enemies are coming from this area right here, there's actually a hard point in there as well as a bomb site, at least for demolition. I'm not too familiar with search and destroy bomb sites, but for demolition anyways, there is a bomb site right there. If you jump up on this metal railing thing right here on this bridge and just come up behind this truck, you have a great line of sight right here to pick any of those people off. You have excellent cover. They have no cover at all. Plus, you're kind of shielded by this smoke right here. So they're going to have a very hard time seeing you through there. And it's oftentimes a very easy kill or multiple easy kills. Now, way back over by the A flag, this is a spot that honestly I don't see myself ever using in a real match. But I thought I'd point it out anyways. You can jump up onto this big wall thing right here. You can easily shoot through to the people that are over there. You can shoot over towards this way as well, over top of this rock. You can pick people off that are trying to spawn trap you over there. You can see into this doorway as well. So it gives you lots of options, but you're completely exposed up here. Plus, there typically isn't a ton of traffic back in this area. So that's why I say I don't see myself using this in a real game, but I thought I would point it out for you guys anyways. Now, right in this area of the map, a lot of you guys that have been playing this map for a long time will know that people love to just camp right up in that little hallway right there. You'll see snipers in there all the time, or people with assault rifles or LMGs specifically. You'll see them up there. you can actually spray through this pretty easily. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a kill every single time, but you might be able to put a shot or two into somebody just to help somebody out. And who knows, if they're really clueless and they refuse to move as you shoot through that wall, you might be able to get a kill through there. Alright, so now I want to show you guys just a few wall run spots that you may or may not already know about. One of my favorite wall run spots, especially in like Safeguard when the robot's coming through here, is to actually jump up like this, and they just don't expect it. So if your enemies have control of this area right here and they're kind of watching over towards this way, if you can jump up onto this top part of the wall and wall run over top of them, they'll have no idea what hit them when you just drop down and they're aiming right here. You drop down beside them, they can't even see you. So I actually really like using that one. I find that to be a very practical and overlooked wall run on this map. Now, obviously, pretty much everybody, okay, I'm going to say everybody knows about these wall run spots in here. You can easily wall run all around here. Very, very simple. Some people still don't know you can actually wall run on the backside of this. I know Drifter actually found this within the beta, so I definitely will give Drifter credit for this because that's where I first saw it, was from Drifter. But you can actually wall run on the outside of this. It does take a little bit of skill with wall running to be able to do that effectively, and Afterburner definitely helps. I was a little bit sloppy on there, but you can wall run on the outside there to sort of gain an advantage over your enemies because they're typically looking towards this way, and sometimes you'll take them off guard by doing that. Another thing I really like to do when I'm at the C flag, if I've got an enemy that's posted up on that piece of cover right there, and I know he's there, maybe he's spawn trapping us from that piece of cover, I'll slide over this way behind this truck, jump up on this railing, and there you go. Look at that line of sight you get on them. That's a perfect head glitch to him, and you'll be able to pick him off almost every single time there with no resistance because he won't even see the tip of your head there. Now, a lot of times at the beginning of the match, enemies will just go straight for this wall run here, but a lot of times they don't wall run all the way around here. They'll actually take a shortcut and they'll jump into the inside of this wall here, and they'll land right here, which is a really good power position actually, which is kind of surprising because there's no cover there. To catch those guys off guard at the beginning of a match, you can jump up onto the hood of this vehicle and you'll be able to pick them off before they get a chance to jump around to the inside of that wall. If you challenge them from the ground, a lot of times like you only catch a really quick glimpse of them and then they'll be gone already. But if you jump on that hood, you get an extremely clear line of sight on that entire wall run right there. Now, one thing that I find really fun to do when I'm challenging enemies from this wall run and I'm coming all the way around like this and there's an enemy waiting for me here is I'll actually drop down to where this plant is and then jump up and attack them. The cool thing about this is you do get that little warning. You get that like 3-second warning or whatever. Yeah, 3-second warning. And they think you're dead. They see you like fall off the map basically and they're like, oh, okay, well, he's gone. And then they usually turn around. And then that's when you pop up and shoot them in the side or in the back. And they just are completely surprised by what happened because they thought for sure you were dead a lot of the times. Or they just hesitate and they don't know what to do and you're able to pick them off. One other tip with this wall run that I'd really like to share with you guys that I don't see enough people doing is wall running low. Almost everybody wall runs kind of middle of the road or even high up on this wall, and it makes you a very clear and easy target. When you wall run down low, like if somebody's backed off right here and they're waiting for you, they won't be able to see you until you're already jumping up here, and it's almost too late for them to take you out. This works actually both ways, so I'll wall run nice and low here. You can even get lower than this, and then you can like jump up and mantle onto this area. Let's see if we can get a little bit lower here. There we go. That's about as low as you want to be. Look at all those lines of sight you're cutting off, then you can just jump up pretty much from out of nowhere rather than coming from way up here where they can easily see you. So that's going to cover everything that I wanted to cover for this map. Yes, there are lots of other wall runs all around the map. Check out Drifter's channel if you want to. I will leave a link to his wall run spots on this particular map, since I did credit him for that spot over there. If you want to see more of those wall run spots, for most of them, they're not really all that useful, or they're just extremely obvious, and I'm not here to cover the obvious stuff. I know that wasn't a ton of spots, but like I said, this map just simply doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. There's not a ton of great spots that I can show you that aren't already pretty obvious. Let me know in the comment section below which one of the maps you'd like me to cover next. And keep in mind, I've already covered 2 maps so far. I will leave a link to the Maps Exposed playlist in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.